Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. As we've heard today, this bill is deeply flawed, cruel and inhumane, which, if passed, would punish those who seek refuge from violence and persecution entering our country. This bill would see us abandon our internationally recognised duties, ultimately turning our back on the world's most vulnerable. Madam Deputy Speaker, under international law, there is no such thing as an illegal asylum seeker. Yet, if passed, this bill would seek to ignore that reality and establish a dangerous new precedent. Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to briefly outline two of the most concerning aspects of this legislation. Firstly, I'm deeply concerned about the powers this bill would allow the government to create offshore camps in which it would detain refugees. There is no justification for such an inhumane practice. Wherever this has been tried, it has failed and put those who are subjected to it at risk of re-traumatisation. The Australian government's own report into its offshoring facility in Nauru revealed horrifying conditions, including the sexual abuse of women and children. Meanwhile, detention centres like Napier Barracks demonstrate clearly that this government is very comfortable housing asylum seekers in the most squalid conditions. Those conditions would only get worse if the government was allowed to move asylum centres offshore, out of reach of oversight and accountability. Secondly, as chair of the all-party group on no recourse to public funds, I'm particularly concerned that this bill would greatly expand the number of people who are subjected to that awful condition. This bill removes the automatic right to settle for those who secure refugee status, having travelled to the UK through another country. By introducing that condition, the government will substantially increase the number of people with no recourse to public funds, people who will no longer have the right to work or access homelessness assistance. In short, if this bill passes, a huge number of people will be forced into destitution. In closing, Madam Deputy Speaker, if the government was truly interested in fixing our asylum system, this bill would have contained new commitments to provide safe routes to this country, while ensuring that all those who claim asylum here are able to live a dignified life while they await a decision. Instead, the bill abandons our obligations under international law, criminalises refugees and expands the cruel and inhumane no recourse to public funds regime. For those reasons, I will be voting against this bill, and I urge all members to do the same. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.